So one thing I wanted to mention is the difference between online and the sync. We instruct our outside salespeople not to sync plugins to their device because it takes up their storage. We have all of our iPads are Wi-Fi capable, so they're never going to be without unless they're in a coal mine or somewhere that can't get signal. But in that case, if they need something while they're in the coal mine, they can, like she showed, just download the pieces that they need and use it in the coal mine, and then they can unsync. So we like the cloud version ourselves because you don't have to worry about hitting sync all. You don't have to worry about all that time that it takes. We like the cloud option because then everything is just constantly updated. We don't have to worry about, if I click on this file, is it the up-to-date one or is it the old synced one? So we like the cloud version better. That's just us. Every person's going to be a little different with that.
All right, so now I got some text messages, so I'm going to pull up that number again, and then we can answer some of your questions. Oh. Okay. How many manufacturers are participating? Kind of back to that one slide. So we have 54 manufacturers within the electrical industry. 80 customers are currently delivering delivering content through RepFiles. As far as distributors, I kind of showed who our customers are, so people delivering content. That's a question that's always, I get asked that all the time. It's hard to answer because any single person at any point in time from any distributor can download the app and start using it. So it's by that individual basis. So we have a lot of different users who sign up all the time and start using RepFiles to access their manufacturer's content. Can sales pick and choose what to download, or is it all or none on a supplier's input? So yeah, kind of how I showed before, you can enter a plugin online only, and then you can pick and choose which files you want to download. Or if you sync a plugin, you could toggle exclude files from sync if you don't want them synced on your device anymore. You could also, you could remove a plugin if you want to. So Siemens, no, I'll do the adventure one.
How dare you?
Okay, so if I long press on a plugin, I can hit remove. Okay, and it's going to be removed from my home screen. I'll still be able to access it if I want to. I would just go back to that add new screen and install it there.
Jessica, just to piggyback on that question, well, what we've seen a lot of our sales folks and channel partners do is kind of create their own, kind of portfolio or catalog using the RepFiles tool. So the question was, hey, do I need to have everything on there? No. If we have a residential channel partner or residentially focused salesperson in the field, they may just want the pieces of the catalog that say, load center, resi breakers, safety switches, unassembled panels, maybe a couple videos that focus just on that and be done with it. That way they can sync that to their device, have it on their person at all times, whether it be at a lunch meeting, on the golf course, in the boardroom, showing that information. So you can pick and choose, plug and play however you want. We're just giving you everything, and then you can go ahead and decide what's the most pertinent for your business to either sync on your phone or use an online mode only. So.
Oh man, there's a lot of questions here. If we don't answer your questions, actually this number is going to be good throughout the conference as well as the tech boot camp. So if I don't answer them here, I think we have 3 minutes left. We'll stay up here too. Okay, yeah. We'll get back to you, and you can continue to use this phone number to send our support team text messages. Either I'm going to answer them or someone back from our support team will. But we'll get all your questions answered. This is a good one. I get asked a lot. Is RepFiles browser available on a Mac? So the answer is RepFiles browser is not, but we do have what we call, it's a program in the Mac store called Transmit. So if you install Transmit, it's like $35 in the Mac store. Basically, we'll give you your access credentials to your storage location, and that's how you manage files. So it is compatible with Macs if you do have someone who needs to manage files that way. how much does it cost for us to add a plugin of our own promos? Is it a subscription, a monthly fee? Great question. So if you come back to the RepFiles booth, we're actually doing a putt for a plugin promo. So basically, you would just putt. You don't even have to make it, and you're entered to win a free plugin. So how it works is a subscription basis. So for a manufacturer, the cost is, if you're a NEMRA or NAD member, the cost is $4,950 per year. We do charge a one-time $750 setup fee just to get your storage location ready, do training. We'll train your users if you want us to, but that's just a one-time fee. And then after that, it's about $5,000 per year. If you go back and see me in the vendor showcase, I can tell you what that subscription includes. But a couple things to point out: it's a limited number of users, so you can add as many users as you want to access your plugin. It's also a unlimited number of files, so we do not put a storage cap on what you can deliver through our system, but we will give you recommendations. And if you put, a 20 gigabyte video on RepFiles, your users are going to come after you too. So we'll give you recommendations, but we don't want to cut you off from something you want to deliver through our system. For distributors, that annual subscription, it can start at $750 per year. That includes one plugin, and that could go up to $5,000 a year. I have pricing information in the vendor showcase, so I can kind of show you the differences between the different plans. It's kind of based on the number of people in your company and how large you are as a distributor. I think a lot of these questions, awesome questions. Is Schneider Electric on RepFiles? No, they're not, so they should sign up. Throw that one out there. A lot of the questions I went over in the demo, but so I think we're good unless someone wants to raise their hand and ask the question that way. This was kind of a little text messaging thing we were testing out today. So. And
I'll address the vendors that aren't on there. RepFiles really relies on distributors to get a hold of your manufacturers and encourage them. So you can work with Jessica, or you can work with me. I have a scripted email that I send to manufacturers that I want to get on the plugin, and that gets them an introduction. So many of the manufacturers that you see up there are from Tom and I and some other distributors asking our manufacturers to get involved. So we need everybody's help.
Thanks, Pam. As Pam said, we are Crescent's a supporter of RepFiles, and we have our own plugin on there. I just want to clarify what Jessica was speaking about with the pricing from a distributor standpoint, that there's only a fee if you want to have your own plugin on there. RepFiles is free to any NAED member, individual, especially as an individual, to gather any of the content that they want and use for their own purpose. So if any of you get a little skittish about a minimum $750 fee up to $5,000, that's only if you want your own content repository. So there should be no barrier to you or any of your employees utilizing RepFiles as it is today right out of the box.
Good point.
Yep, thank you for clarifying that.
Hi, I was wondering what kind of analytics can you provide?
Yeah, so good question. So we do reporting per plugin. Here, I'll just kind of show you how this works. All right, so what I'm going to do is log into the website. Sorry, I'm new to this computer. Just Sorry, being a little shaky. Maybe I can show you the reporting back there. But basically, per plugin, you'll be able to see the exact users who are syncing with your plugin. So you'll be able to see by company, company name and email address every time someone is connected to the internet and enters your plugin, or anytime they hit that sync all button, their account will also show up. You could see what device they're using as well. So if you have more iOS users, Android users, Windows users, and it'll give you the date and time that they sync their device. The reports you could filter starting back from a day all the way to a year. So I always tell people to schedule like a quarterly report or something like that, monthly report. Look at that reports tab. It'll show you a list of all the people who connected, and that will give you your information.
Okay, I just wanted to kind of give a quick testimonial. I'm Mary Brown from ServiceWire, and one of the reasons as a manufacturer why we started using RepFiles, we had heard, several years ago from some of our salespeople, hey, there's this cool tool out there. It's all in one place, so if one of our reps repped multiple lines, they would be going to one place. We had actually been working on a mobile app to do pretty much the same thing, but the advantage with RepFiles is that it's one place that our reps were already going to. So we've really had a lot of success with it. I think we've got up to 400 or 500 subscribers right now, and as far as the reporting side of it, I can speak to that. It's really helpful. We actually chart it out each month to show like how many points of access we've had, and you can break it down by plugins. So like we've got one for our reps, one for our inside guys, that sort of thing. So it's been really helpful for us. One question I would have, if you could speak to this, is what's kind of coming down the pipe as far as additional reporting and that sort of thing. I wanted to kind of find out more about that.
Yeah, sure. That's a great question. So we get that asked a lot, if we could do reporting based on files. So something that would show the plugin manager specifically what file a user is accessing. The problem that we face is we allow our users to access those files and pull them up when they're not connected. So we don't want their reports to be misguided, right? So if a user is disconnected from the internet and they pull up a file 10 times, we don't want that. There's no way to report back on that because their device is completely disconnected from the internet. However, our team is kind of looking at a way that we could at least report on when a user is connected when they're opening the file. Another thing too is we want to be careful of our users too. So we've heard some responses that they might not want the people delivering content to know, when they're opening up files and stuff. So we kind of want our users to continue to use the tool. So we want to be respectful of that as well. So kind of we're taking those kind of couple things going on, and our development team's kind of looking a way to kind of solve both issues. Because I think that would be awesome as a marketing person to know exactly what my distributors and what my users are accessing. I would definitely want that. So I know that's kind of top priority.
I just had a thought sitting here as a manufacturer. Have you thought about collaborating with IDW, IDEA on all the manufacturer's content to push that through RepFiles?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. We haven't had any conversations at this point, but that doesn't mean that we can't to kind of see how we could work together. I know, as you see from our system, from that RepFiles browser, it's very file-based, right? So it's the PDFs. It's not kind of data in a different file format. It's those PDFs and videos and hard files that are delivered through our system. So that could be a challenge. I'm not as familiar with how the other two companies work, but yeah, we're open to conversation with them for sure.
Hi, this is Mike Wentz. I'm with IDEA and the IDW, and this is a fantastic application. The concern I have is if we're not synchronized, we're doing a disservice to the manufacturers in the room. Manufacturers have a big challenge of keeping their content synchronized, and the whole concept of the IDW was to be a single source of information for many. We would love to provide content to you so that the manufacturer puts a spec sheet in the IDW, it'll be synchronized in the distributors' ERP system as well as in their mobile apps. And we need to utilize this because the manufacturers have a big job trying to keep all these islands of automation up to date.
Sure.
And that's why the IDW is there, is to synchronize the channel. So please, let's work together to make this better for everybody.
Yeah, sounds good.
I second
I'll
that.
take your card.
Anybody else? Because we need to get going to lunch. All right, hang on. Go ahead, David.
All right, let's give Jessica a round of applause, please.